Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Mary and I live with my husband Nick and our two dogs. They're both Boston Terriers, Albert and Edie, and we live in Indiana in the US. And I just took a Disney trip about 3 weeks ago, which feels like it was so long ago, and I'm just really pretty desperate to go back now. So I've just been making more and more Disney videos because then I can kind of relive it and stuff. So I wanted to make this video as kind of a pros and cons guide to all things Disney. I have different categories, so we're going to talk about transportation, the resort that I stayed at, magic bands, the parks, and then things that I brought, didn't bring, didn't do, just things that I would do differently or things that worked out really well. So if you're taking a trip, maybe this will help you. Okay, so starting at the beginning, we're going to start with transportation. And we flew to Orlando from the Indianapolis airport. We flew on Delta and it was fine on the way down. We got really cruddy seats. We were right by an engine, so we couldn't see out the window, but we at least had a window. The seats right behind us didn't even have a window, it was just a wall. So it was a little disorienting not to be able to see when you're taking off. It was not ideal, but overall it was fine. Disney transportation is mostly what I'm going to talk about. So we did use the Magical Express from the Orlando airport to our resort, and then from our resort back to the airport at the end of our trip. And I don't have any cons about the Magical Express. I think it's just the most convenient thing. We found the buses and I was thinking, I bet we have to do something to like get on the bus. I can't just find it. So you do have to be inside. There's a Magical Express like check-in area, and they'll tell you which queue to go in, and then they'll tell you which bus to get on. That'll take you to your resort. So you just scan your magic band when you get there, and then they tell you go to this line, and then you just wait a few minutes until you get on your bus, and then they take off fairly quickly. Also, if you check any luggage, they will send you special tags to put on your luggage so they know which resort you're staying at, and you don't even see your luggage again after you check it in at the airport until you get to your resort room, which is just so nice, especially if you're traveling with kids. All you have to worry about are the kids and the stuff that you brought with you. So checking the luggage, I highly recommend. It does cost a little bit of money to check your luggage with the airline. Not all of them. I think Southwest gives you one free check-in bag, but we flew with Delta and they were $30 per bag per flight. So $30 there and $30 back. And we had two bags. I had one and my sister had one, so it was $60 each way. But honestly, it was so nice and convenient not to have to worry about going and getting our luggage before we got on our Magical Express. We literally just got off the plane, took the monorail to the baggage station, went downstairs, and got on our Magical Express. Like, we didn't have to worry about anything. It was so nice. That being said, do pack things that you're gonna need once you get to the resort. Like, we didn't pack Morrison's bathing suits, which we should have done because she really wanted to go swimming, but also our room wasn't ready for a while, so it probably would have been fine because she probably would have just swam the whole time happily. But like, if she had decided that she was done swimming and wanted to go clean up and stuff, we could go in the bathroom like at the resort, but our room wasn't ready once we got there because we were there so early in the morning. Definitely pack the things that you might need in a carry-on, such as medication, sunglasses, walking shoes if you're wearing different shoes for the flight, that sort of stuff. So yeah, Magical Express, awesome, so awesome, just really awesome. The buses at Disney, I have a love-hate relationship with the buses because sometimes it is so nice. Like, going to Disney Springs we were never on like a busy bus. It was always basically empty going to Disney Springs, and we never really had to wait very long for the bus to come, which was nice. But like in the morning when we went to Magic Kingdom, we had a reservation at 10 o'clock at Be Our Guest, so we tried to get there a little bit earlier than that. I think we got on the bus at like 9:30, and it was a very busy bus. We had to stand on our way to Magic Kingdom. And then Kathy came back to the resort with Morrison because she wasn't feeling well, so they came back and Morrison took a nap. And the ride back to the resort and back to Magic Kingdom, she said, was not busy at all. So she came back to Magic Kingdom around 2:30, 3 o'clock so she could go to see the parade and stuff. Yeah, she was like, the line to get into Magic Kingdom, like the bag check line, was super, super small. There was nobody there at 3 o'clock, and the buses were super fast and not full at all. So buses in the evening, if you stay and watch the whole fireworks show, expect to wait probably an hour to get back to your resort. We made the mistake. So on Magic Kingdom Day, we left the fireworks a little bit early so we could beat the rush, and it worked out perfectly. There was already a bus there, I think, actually waiting for us, which was nice. So we just got right on. We still had to stand, I think, on that Magic Kingdom ride back, but we didn't have to wait super long in line to get on the bus, which was nice. But the next day we decided to go to the Contemporary Resort to try their quick service meal cafe, Contempo Cafe. It looked like they had really good food, and they did. And we made the mistake of trying to go back home right after the fireworks ended. So it was a very long wait to get back to the resort. We were so mad. Like, just terrible planning. I didn't think about the time at all. It didn't seem like it was that late. So yeah, if you do stay for all of the fireworks, there's gonna be a really long wait to get back to your resort. And we stayed at Art of Animation, which is a value resort, and all of the value resorts are the farthest away bus stop from the park. So keep that in mind too. Obviously, you're buying a value resort because you want to save money. We did, and I think for the price it's really good, but just expect that you're going to have to walk the farthest to get to your bus stop, which is a little bit exhausting on a long park day. So just keep that in mind. Maybe if you have the expectation, you won't be too upset once you get there. Specifically, the buses that run from Art of Animation, a major con, I think, is that they play the same songs. They must have only like 10 songs that they go like cycle through, and they're so annoying. There's only a handful, like maybe 2 or 3 songs that we were like, oh yeah, I really like this song. But the majority of the songs that they play on the bus and in the resort are like really sort of obnoxious, poppy versions of songs that you do love, and it's just not the best. It's so annoying, really, so annoying. That was one thing I had on my con list, is the music. The music, the waiting in line, and standing on the bus when it's super busy. All sort of annoying. But some pros are that the buses do now drop you off right at the park. So like, you don't have to go through the transportation and ticket center. You don't have to get a monorail or a ferry over to Magic Kingdom. They just take you straight to Magic Kingdom, which is pretty nice because it can be a little exhausting, especially at the end of the night, thinking, oh my gosh, now I have to wait in line for the monorail to get back to the transportation and ticket center, and then I have to walk all the way to our bus stop and wait for a bus to get there. I remember that being a little overwhelming. Also, transportation and ticket center does not take you back to resorts anymore. You can only get back to your resort from a park. Bear that in mind. You're kind of stuck. You have to wait at the park if you get there right at the end of the night. So that is my transportation pros and cons. Next is our resort. So we stayed at Art of Animation, and it was so beautiful. It was just so cool. I feel like it's the most Disney resort at Disney. Like, they have characters everywhere, not just the giant characters. Like, you saw King Triton, Little Mermaid, and Ursula in the Little Mermaid section where we stayed, and those were so cool. They were very, very cool. They had lots of little things, like a Dingle Hopper statue. They had buried treasure Morrison had to stop at every morning on our way back. They had a Snarfblat. It was very, very cool. Sebastian, I loved his little statue thing. That was so, so cool. But over on the car side, they had like life-size versions of everybody. Well, they didn't have Lightning McQueen, but they had like all the supporting characters. Tow Mater was there, just everybody. It was really, really cool. It felt like its own little version of Cars Land from Disneyland. So cool. And the Nemo section, so cool. They have a playground that you can, like, the kids climb up on and slide down and stuff, and it's all Nemo themed. The big blue pool is very cool. It's like super kid friendly. They have like a waiting area, so it's very shallow. They have fountains and like water dumping all over the place and stuff like that. The Little Mermaid pool was awesome. It was just really magical. It was so cool. And then like recently I've been researching to see where I want to go next, and I'm noticing that a lot of other resorts are very pretty, but I don't feel like from the pictures that they're as magical as Art of Animation was, just because of the classic Disney, like the characters that we all know and love. Especially love the Pixar influence. Oh, the lobby was so beautiful. Like, you walk in and you're just like, your breath is taken away by those lights that come up. Oh my gosh, it was just so amazing. It was so amazing, and you can walk through that lobby and see something different every time because of all the pictures on the walls and stuff. Oh man, I loved it so much. I also really loved the souvenir shop. Like, it was just really fun to look through every single day that we were there. It was, I don't know, it was so wonderful. The cafeteria was wonderful. It was just really, really nice. I would definitely stay there again. I've also been thinking about doing another Disney cruise with Nick, because we did one a long time ago. It feels like it was probably 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago this year. And it's so, so nice. But I think what I would like to do is book Art of Animation for one night so we could get there a day early. Maybe go to Epcot, because the Skyliner is right there by Art of Animation. It's also right across from Pop Century. Also, a side note about Pop Century, I know a lot of people love it, but I feel like if you stayed at Art of Animation, you would kind of be let down by Pop Century. Like, we went to Pop Century and I was just kind of like not as enchanted. Art of Animation is just so wonderful. I don't know. I know lots of people love Pop Century, but like the cafeteria at Art of Animation, I think, is just a million times better. It's so much nicer. The food quality was better. It's cleaner. The seats were more comfortable. I don't know. I just thought everything was nicer at Art of Animation. That's just my opinion though. Pop Century is less expensive, slightly less expensive. So in my opinion, the slightly less expensive is not worth it, because I felt like it was pretty obvious that it was a less expensive hotel or resort. Anyway, so Skyliner now is right next to Art of Animation. Like, I walked past it a couple times. We really wanted to ride it, but we just never got around to it. But yeah, so I was thinking for if we did a cruise, we would stay one night at Art of Animation, and then we could take the Skyliner to Epcot for a day, hang out, have some really cool food, and then take the Magical Express to Cape Canaveral and do the cruise. But that's just my idea for the future. Hopefully we can do that. It would be so wonderful. Anyway, really, really liked Art of Animation. Lots of pros. Let's see. Oh, another thing. So Morrison, I don't think we specifically said it, but she has type 1 diabetes. And my sister noticed that they have a Sharps container in the bathroom, like in the, not the resort bathroom, but In the lobby area where you go in, they have a sharps container there, which I just thought was so thoughtful. Like, that's so nice of them to put that there. Obviously adults have diabetes too, and they could obviously use it, but I don't know, for people with kids with type 1 diabetes, little things like that just mean a lot. So that was very, very cool. And then the last pro for Art of Animation, and I'm not sure, I've watched dozens of other people's Disney vlogs, and I've never seen anybody talk about this, but I just received in the mail, it's been 3 weeks since we were there, and I just received in the mail this so cool drawing, and they made us this drawing. Like, how cool is that? They sent us this in the mail, and I opened it, and I was just like, what the heck? Like, it's hand-drawn. It's one of those hand-drawn things that you can buy at Hollywood Studios. They also had them available at Art of Animation, I think because of the animation theme, like drawing and stuff. So I'm wondering if that's why they sent me this, because we specifically stayed at Art of Animation. I don't know. I was blown away when I got this in the mail. I was like, oh my gosh, such a nice, like, that is just so cool. I can't believe they sent me that. I'm absolutely framing it and putting it in our house because I'm so excited about this. I just thought that was so nice. They just keep on reminding me, hey, remember when you went to Disney and it was so fun? Come back. And I'm like, yes, please. I would love to. So yeah, that I thought was a really nice touch. And I don't know if they do that sort of thing at other resorts. I know people who have stayed at, I don't know them. I've watched them on YouTube. People who have stayed at like Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter. People who have stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, like all the fancy places too. And no one has ever mentioned getting something in the mail like that after they get back home. I thought that was just so cool. So let me know if you have stayed at other resorts. Do they send you stuff like little things like that when you get back home? This is the first time I've stayed at a resort. I stayed at a Disney resort, so I don't know. We've stayed at Shades of Green, which is the military resort, probably back in the 90s, but as far as I can remember, they did not send us anything cool like that afterwards. Might be a new thing. All right, so cons. Sorry, this is going to be a long video, you guys. Sorry. I just want to give you all the details. So cons about our specific resort, because it's the only one I know I can speak to. It is a very long walk from where the buses drop you off to your resort room. So we stayed in the Little Mermaid, which is the like normal 2-bed resort room kind of thing. They do have family suites that are closer. They have the Nemo buildings are all family suites, and the Cars building are family suites, but they're twice as much as the Little Mermaid standard rooms. So we went with the standard room, and we love the room, but it is so far away from the front where you come in. So after a very long day, it's a little bit exhausting to have to then walk back to where your building is. So that was kind of a bummer, but for the price, I mean, it's kind of like the whole walking to the very last resort bus pickup section. You're paying a lot less than everybody else. So a minor complaint of mine is that you have to walk really far to get to your resort after a very long day. So on that same note, when you want to go get food or you want to refill you get these refillable mugs that you can use at any resort. You can't refill the mugs in the parks, but you can like get a drink on your way to the parks or on your way back from the parks. You can go through the cafeteria and fill up your drink, take it with you for the night, but that means you have to carry this around all day at the parks if you don't want to walk all the way to your resort to get your cup, and then all the way back to the cafeteria, and then all the way back again to your room. So that's kind of a bummer about the long walk. They make it really entertaining, like you walk through the Lion King section. Oh yeah, the Lion King section. I think our family suites also. So Little Mermaid is the only standard rooms, and then so what we had been doing was going to the park all day, Plus, when you go, like, we went to the cafeteria in the morning to get breakfast before going and getting on the bus. So if you want a drink with your breakfast, you have to carry this with you. And then I eventually, at the very last day, like Animal Kingdom day, I found something on my backpack that I could like tether to this handle, and I just rinsed it out when I was done and tethered it to my backpack. So I had it with me all day, tethered to my backpack. I didn't have to like carry it or anything because my backpack was pretty small. It wouldn't fit inside of it. But you can hang it off the side of your backpack, and it worked fine for me. I wish I had thought of that earlier in the week, so I could have had my cup with me, because you want to have a drink with breakfast, and then when you're coming back from the parks, it would be super nice to have your mug so that you can, fill up on your way back to your room. So I don't know. I was thinking when I was there, it would be kind of cool for them to have. There's no way they would do this. It would be kind of cool though if they had like a locker that you could either rent or that comes with your room, so that you can like keep your mugs in there for your family, so you don't have to carry it all day at the parks, but you can still refill it and not have to walk back and forth to go get it and fill it up and go back. So the walking part is the worst. It'd be so cool if they had like trams that took you from the bus stop to your room at the end of the night, especially, just because, man, people are so tired. But it's not that big of a deal. It's just a minor inconvenience, I guess. But the mug thing is a bit of an inconvenience. Either carry it with you all day or have to walk way far away to go pick it up and bring it back and then go back again. So that was sort of annoying. Again, the annoying music that they play on the Art of Animation buses, they play inside Art of Animation. And it can get really old. Like at some point, Kathy and I were just like, they're playing this again. Like, it was just slightly annoying. So be prepared for that. I'm sure kids love it because it's poppy and stuff and whatever, but we were not impressed. And then the last thing that I put as a con, but it's not really, the pools at Art of Animation and any other value resort do not have slides, and they don't have hot tubs. So if those are important to you, maybe don't stay at a value resort. But for us, it wasn't a big deal. Morrison just wanted to swim, so she was happy with the pool. Okay, next up is magic bands. My pro about magic bands is that they are really, really easy to use. You just do the thing, boom, you've paid for your stuff. My con about magic bands is they are really, really easy to use. You just do your thing and boom, it's paid for. So I could very easily see how people could spend way more than they intended to just by magic banding their purchases. Kathy and I did pretty well, I think. Overall, we only charged $260 to the room for 5 days, which I think is pretty impressive. Like, we bought some stuff, and Morrison bought a bunch of like fairly expensive like toys that she wanted. But like with the dining plan and stuff, we did pretty well. 3 people for $260 total seems pretty good. My mom probably thinks that we could have done better, but I'm just thinking we could have done worse. So anyway, yeah, that is a pro and a con to magic bands. Also, I just found that they were just kind of annoying, like it kind of made my wrist a little hot and sweaty. Oh my gosh, in the summertime, I can't even imagine. They have to be so hot. Your wrist has to just be sweating and disgusting after a day of summer Disney time. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine that. But one other con for kids, Morrison kept taking hers off, and like then you obviously have to help her put it back on. So I don't know if they can make like a stretchy version that they can just like, because she just fiddled with it like all day, driving us crazy. Like, you can't lose that. You have to have it. So I don't know. That was sort of annoying. I don't know if other little kids mess with their magic bands, but but I think it's just annoying for them to have something on like that. And I know you can buy keychain fobs. We might do that next time just because it was so annoying. But another thing is she was fine with like scanning her magic band, but then when you have to do your fingerprint part to get into the parks, she really struggled with putting the right amount of pressure so that it would recognize her fingerprint. So we didn't figure that out for a minute. We kept trying and trying and trying, like at Epcot, and it just kept going blue. And then Kathy thought to push on Morrison's finger to like make a better imprint. And then it worked fine. So we had to do that at Animal Kingdom the next day too. So I don't know. The little kid issues. I don't know if that's universal or just our kid, but that was a little bit annoying. So that's it for magic bands. Let's talk about the parks. Pros that I've noticed are that they are starting to get more merchandise for Pocahontas and Up, which are two of my favorite movies. And they've just started, it seems like they just started adding like pins and things you can buy. They had like a funny shirt about Pocahontas that I didn't buy because it's not really my style, but like they had stuff, which was cool. I was super pumped about the pins. If you haven't seen my Disney haul, I'll put it above for you. Yeah, so I was really impressed with the variety of characters that they have represented now in merchandise, which is cool. Obviously, the parks are just so magical. They're so beautiful. They're so well kept. Like, it's so clean. All the bathrooms are so nice. Like, it's not gross to go in any of the bathrooms. The Morocco bathroom in Epcot is the only one that I was kind of like, not super impressed with. But I might have just used it right before they came to tidy it up. And it wasn't like awful, but it was noticeably less pleasant, I guess, than like the ones that I had used at Magic Kingdom. It's so nice. Cons about the parks are, I was a little disappointed by the order ahead options at Disney World. I watch a lot of people who vlog in Disneyland, and it seems like they can basically order ahead anything. And like at Magic Kingdom, the only thing I could find was Aloha Isle, so I did order a Kakamora float, which is like a special float for right now, I think. And then I was confused when I went there. I was waiting for it to like show up, and it never did. And then I saw somebody walk up to the counter and check in for their order. I just thought it would like magically come up. But I guess with that sort of thing, you don't want to sit there letting it melt, which makes sense. But yeah, so now, you know, if you order ahead, you have to go tell them you're here, and then they will start making it for you. The bag line at Magic Kingdom was the worst. And I know there's nothing they can probably do about that except maybe have more bag check areas. If you can do it without a bag, I highly encourage it. I couldn't do it without a bag. I have to have something to put stuff in. I'm not going to carry my cell phone all day and my camera and all that stuff. Like, you don't need to bring a wallet or anything because you have your magic band, but girls just need to bring things, you know? So, bag check line is a bummer. When we went, the one ride that I was most excited to ride was down for refurbishment, and that was Splash Mountain. I was so bummed out. I was so bummed. Morrison was even super excited to ride it. I was afraid she'd be too scared, but she was like really excited to ride it because she had watched YouTube videos. That's also a pro tip, I think, is if you think you have a kid who might be too scared to ride some things, show them the rides on YouTube so that they can like mentally prepare. Like Haunted Mansion, I was afraid she'd be too scared to do because sometimes she's just that way, you know, like apprehensive about things. And but she watched the Haunted Mansion movie and loved it, and then she watched some ride-throughs, I think, and that really helped. She was super pumped to ride it, like super pumped. So, and she wasn't scared like the whole time. She might have been a little bit creeped out or something, but like she was looking for all the things that were in the movie and stuff. Like, she was super excited. So definitely do that if you have kids who might be scared to do some rides. But yeah, she was so pumped to ride Splash Mountain, and I was so pumped to ride Splash Mountain. It was so awesome. But it was closed. Oh, so bummed. That's pretty much it for the parks. So moving on to what I did or didn't do and what I brought or didn't bring. I set an alarm to go off on the day that I could register for fast passes and reservations, and it did not go off. So I totally blanked it, which is not like me at all because I was so excited to do the reservations and stuff. I don't know what happened. I just totally spaced it, and then like 2 weeks later I was like, what the heck? I totally made an alarm and I forgot to do that. So I got on the app real quick and tried to make a bunch of reservations and fast passes. That was before I knew Splash Mountain was down, so I just assumed that all the fast passes had been taken for Splash Mountain, but actually I don't think they ever put any up because they were going to do a refurb. There were fast passes available for things like dark rides and things. Obviously, like the roller coaster rides had been already swiped up, but there were fast passes still for other things, and I didn't do any. I didn't make fast passes because I figured, well, if nobody is taking these fast passes, then it's probably not going to be that busy. And the crowd calendar that I had looked at said it wasn't going to be busy that week, which is why we booked it that week. But I think with Rise of the Resistance opening, it's never not going to be busy. So it was busy, and then we spent all of Magic Kingdom Day not being able to ride very many things because the lines were so long. We did get to ride like the carousel, the teacups, Small World without fast passes. We rode all of those things. We just timed it nicely. But yeah, just set a better alarm, I guess. Don't miss your fast pass day. So stupid. I can't believe I totally spaced that. But don't do that. I was so focused on making the vlogs, like I wanted to document the vlogs mostly for Morrison's sake because she's 6 going on 7 and I don't want her to forget her first trip. So I wanted to vlog like everything. Obviously, if you've seen the videos, I'll link them above. I had a lot of technical difficulties. So frustrating. I think the vlogs turned out fine, but obviously they're not exactly what I wanted them to be. I wanted them to be as good as like Sophie and Dave's, Brogan Tate's, Blair Lamb's. They have such good vlogs. Adam Hatton, they do such a good job when they go to Disney. And I failed pretty miserably at that. So just always check your equipment. Like, on my screen, I can see there's a little line that moves every time I talk because it's recording the audio. And somehow I just totally spaced it because I was so excited about what we were doing that day. I didn't notice at all that the lines weren't moving, so it wasn't recording audio for a lot of my vlogs. But yeah, I was so focused on taking video that I didn't really take pictures at all. And I know Kathy took some selfies and stuff on her phone, but like I really wanted to document with pictures so I could make like a photo album and stuff for Morrison, which I'm making anyway, but I just really wish I had more in the moment realizations that I should take pictures of things. So you live and learn, you know. I don't think you can ever do your first vacation perfectly, so I'm just making a list of things I want to do differently next time. But yeah, I didn't take enough pictures. And we didn't understand how the dining plan worked until almost the last day. It wasn't really explained very well to us, but we did the quick service dining plan, which was really great. We got 2 entrees per day and 2 snacks per day per person. So a quick service entree consists of something that you order from the cafeteria, and then you get either a drink, but if you have this mug, you don't need to do that. Or you can have a side, and a side counts as like something from one of the coolers. You can get a dessert. You can get what else was there? Cereal. You can get a cereal on the side. I don't know, just one of those like little one-off things you can grab from the shelves and things. So that is an entree. Also, you can use your entree as 3 snack credits. So like if Kathy and I both wanted pretzels and Morrison wanted a Mickey Premium Bar, those are 3 snacks, so we could use 1 entree to pay for all 3 of those snacks. You just have to buy them all at the same time. That's also a good way if you have entrees left over at the end of your trip, you can go to any place that has like Goofy's candy bags and stuff, like those little, I don't know, sour things, gummies, those sort of things. Those all count as snacks, and you can buy 3 for each entree that you have left. So you could take those home with you. You don't have to eat them right away, obviously. But yeah, so that's just a little tip on quick service dining plan in case you don't know how it works either. That's how it works. Another thing I did not bring was ibuprofen. And I know that Blair Lamb has said that before in her vlogs, and I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't bring any. And I think I just thought 10 years ago when I went and I was 50 pounds lighter and 10 years younger, I didn't need to take ibuprofen. My feet weren't that sore. Like, I could totally do 7 days at Disney and not bat an eye. I was just tired at the end of the day. Let me tell you, 10 years and 50 pounds makes a very big difference. So finally, on like the 3rd day, I wised up because I started getting a headache and I was like, oh, I need some ibuprofen. So I took ibuprofen for my head and magically my feet stopped hurting. So dumb. Anyway, so we bought this little pack of Advil, which is ibuprofen, at the Contemporary Resorts Market, and this little thing had 20 capsules in it, and it was about $6.50. Totally worth it. I still have a couple in there, but like if you just filled this up yourself and brought it with you, you would be set for a week, and it makes such a huge difference. Like, I was in such a better mood for Animal Kingdom. My feet didn't hurt. It's just so silly. I thought that the shoes that I got would just like make everything not hurt, but if you're walking all day, your feet are gonna hurt no matter what shoes you're wearing. So the shoes definitely, I'll talk about in a second because they were awesome. But yeah, just please bring pain medication and take it every day before you go to the park and in the middle of your park day when your feet start hurting again. Just take pain medicine. It's going to make you feel so much better. Why didn't I do that? But now I know. Do that. Another thing, I had a case that holds my phone. Like, it's a Disney themed case, and I've had it for probably 6 years in anticipation of going to Disney World, and forgot to take that too. So having some hands-free things. I took this backpack. It's so convenient, but it's on your back. So there's a slight inconvenience because you have to take it off in order to get your camera, your phone, whatever out of it. So I'm already looking at bags that will hold my camera with my microphone on it so I can safely put it in like a little side bag, put it in there, it'll be protected, and then I can easily take it out and put it back in when I'm not using it. So I think having something more readily accessible would just be really smart. I really struggled with planning what I was going to wear, and half of that was because I don't feel comfortable at the current weight that I was. Like, I'll link above my Orange Theory workout starting journey thing, because I realized getting back from Disney, I am not at an ideal Disney weight, and I need to get back to my ideal Disney weight because it makes such a big difference. Like, huffing and puffing and your face gets all red, and like, you can wear cute clothes and not feel self-conscious. Obviously, you can wear cute clothes if you are overweight or skinny. Like, wear what you want to wear and that makes you feel good. But I didn't have any clothes that I thought would make me feel good, so I just wore like yoga pants and a workout shirt, and it was not super cute. So sort of bummed out about that. I also didn't know how to plan for Florida weather in February because vlogs I've watched, it's either really cold or it's like normal Florida weather or it's raining. So I was just like, what do I even wear? I have no idea. So I did not pack clothes very well, and I didn't take a swimsuit. I should have taken a swimsuit so I could get in the pool because it looked so nice. Even if you feel uncomfortable in a swimsuit, just take one, because you may change your mind once you get there and just be like, screw it, I want to get in the pool, and then you do. So just pack. I don't know. It's hard to pack for Florida, especially if you're from a place where it's cold in the winter. It's like, how cold will it be? Is it gonna be hot? And it was very hard to say what to take. And then things that I did right. Let's do that. Either things that I brought that I'm really glad I did, or things that I did well. So let's talk about my shoes that I took. I got these shoes right before we went to Disney. My mom took me shopping at Kohl's. These are from Kohl's. They're Nikes. I actually bought another pair this week because these were so awesome. Like, I just want to wear them all the time. So this is the kind of shoe they are. Women's Tangen, Nike Tangen. And these are black, but obviously the first ones I got were like a blush color. So pretty. They're so comfortable. They did their job perfectly. These are the black ones. I got them in size 10 because I have these insoles that I need. And this is from Walking Company. So this is if you can read that. This is Walking Company's brand of insoles. If you go to a Walking Company store, they will have you take your shoes off. You can leave your socks on, and you will first like stand on this mat that measures where the pressure comes from onto your feet, like how your body puts pressure on your feet. And then they will ask you to like walk this way and put one foot on the mat to see how your foot lands when you're walking, and then have you walk this way and do the same thing with your foot to see how that foot reacts like when you're walking. And I have very poor arch support, so they gave me specific insoles that will help with that, and they really do. They make my feet feel so good. I work out with these shoes. You can kind of see that the arch here has a lot more stuff there than the rest of the insole. They just slip right in there, but you do need to go up a size or two. Just go take your insoles to the store and figure out which size you need to wear with those insoles. So I went to a size 10. I usually wear like anywhere from 8.5 to 9.5. And in Nikes, I think I usually wear a 9, but I went up a size to a size 10. And they are awesome. Like, this fabric is so nice. It's like stretchy, so when you put your foot in there, it just like suctions around your foot, kind of like, I don't know. These are just so great. I highly recommend those Nike shoes. But just go to a Kohl's or wherever and try things on, see what works for you. I think the black is better because these get dirty pretty easily, but to that same point, they're very easy to clean. I just ran some water under the sink and scrubbed it with some Dawn, and then stuck it on my like vent that blows hot air out, and they were dry in a few hours. So they looked brand new. They're dirty again now, so I'll have to wash them again. But you can also just get black and be smart. So my shoes were awesome. Highly recommend them. But also ibuprofen. Take ibuprofen, because these shoes were awesome, but when you're walking all day, your feet are gonna hurt regardless. If for some reason you miss out on making a reservation for like Be Our Guest for breakfast, I thought about doing a reservation, and then my sister wasn't sure if Morrison would be into any other food, and I was like, it's Disney. They're gonna have something for kids. They're gonna have something for the picky child. So the day before I made a reservation, like the evening before, I was like, let's just go. We can use our quick service, so let's just go and see how it is. It might even be a snack credit. But yeah, I did not make Be Our Guest reservations before we went, and then once I got there, I made it the night before for like 10 a.m. I think they also had a 9:40, but we wanted to give ourselves a little more time in the morning to get there, so glad we did that too. Yeah, so don't worry too much. Just keep checking your app. You might have an opportunity to add a reservation that comes up. Like if somebody cancels, you can totally take their reservation. And then one more thing that I kind of did right, I think, is packing cubes in my suitcase. If you have not seen my pack with me, I'll link it above. But I think the packing cubes worked so nicely. I just had like one cube with an outfit for each day, and then I could just take that cube out, put those clothes on, and then like as I was using the clothes, I just made a pile on the other side of my suitcase so I could just, like, all the dirty clothes were just shoved into that little area. And I didn't worry about like folding them and putting them back in. But yeah, I think packing cubes, they were just super helpful for knowing what you have ready and what you need to pack still. And you can easily find packing cubes on Amazon. I'm pretty sure I just bought Amazon Essential brand. What is that? Okay, so I don't remember what I was saying. I think that's it. I think that's everything. That pros and cons, what to do, what not to do, and my thoughts about everything. So I hope this wasn't too boring. I hope it was helpful in some way, or at least just interesting to hear. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. And if you made it to this point, leave below what your favorite snack at Disney is. I think mine are probably the Mickey pretzels. So good. But yeah, let me know what your favorite Disney snack is in the comments. I'd love to know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you can. It makes my day every time I get a new subscriber. I'm trying to get to 1,000 and I have 61 right now. So if you want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers, please do. You can click this little button right here. Very easy. You can tap it or click it. So anyway, thank you guys, and I will see you next time.